So let's continue the session. Last week we discussed about errors that do not affect balancing of trial balance. Okay, so today our discussion is on errors that will affect balancing of trial balance. You understand?
Yes.
Now what I am going to do is I am not going to list down those errors here. Okay, so there are a number of errors. If you make those errors, it will affect the balancing of the trial balance. Okay, so I will not list down those errors. Instead, what I am going to do is I am going to demonstrate by taking a practical example. You understand? By taking a practical example to demonstrate those errors. You understand? Okay, so while doing the question, you will identify those errors. I will do some deliberate mistakes. I will not tell you, but you have to understand, you need to identify those errors. At the end of the session, I will extract the trial balance. So when I extract the trial balance, will the trial balance balance? It will not balance. Your debit and the credit balances will not balance. You got it? Okay, so then you need to tell me what are those errors. You understand? Okay, now this is the example. Okay, so these are the ledger balances, opening balances. Okay, we'll extract the trial balance as at 1st January 2020. So first of all, we'll take the opening trial balance. So cash book balance is how much? Cash book, debit 125,000. Then we have motor vehicle account 375,000 debit balance. Then we have equity account credit balance 325,000, and we have bank loan account 175,000. So when you extract this trial balance, the trial balance will balance. This is the opening trial balance. So what I am going to do is I am going to explain, I am going to demonstrate the type of errors that if you make those errors, the trial balance will not balance. So these are the opening balances. You are given set of ledger balances and the opening trial balance. So if you take the opening trial balance is balancing. Your debit side is 500,000, credit side is 500,000. So what are the type of ledger accounts you have? Cash book opening balance is given 125,000, equity account is 325,000, bank loan account is 175,000, and motor vehicle account is 375,000. The very simple trial balance. Now I will give you a set of transactions, then we will record those transactions. As I told you, when I make the transactions, when I post these transactions into the ledger accounts, I will make some errors, I will make some mistakes. Then you need to identify those mistakes, but don't tell me. At the end of the after recording all these transactions, I will extract the trial balance. Then there will be a difference. Then you need to tell me what errors I made. Okay, then you will understand what are the errors. If you make those errors, the trial balance will not balance. So this is what I am going to demonstrate from this session. Okay, so take down the first transaction. So first transaction is cash sales $50,000. Second transaction, cash purchases 25,000. Again, cash purchases $17,500. 17,500. Then the last one, cash sales 33,500. Okay, so these are the transactions. So I have given you the transactions, then we will record the transactions. Okay, so what is the first transaction?
Cash sales $50,000.
Cash sales $50,000. Now I am going to record this transaction. Okay, so cash sales $50,000. So 50,000 cash sales, debit 1st January 2000. This is 2nd January, yeah?
Okay.
2nd January, sales account 50,000. I will open a small sales account here. Okay, sales account on 2nd Jan, cash 50,000. So this is the first transaction which I recorded. Okay, so I debited cash book and I create a sales account. So what is the second transaction?
Cash purchases $25,000.
$25,000 cash purchases. So let's say 3rd January, purchases $25,000. So I need to open purchases account. So for the time being I will erase this bank loan account. Okay, this is the purchases account. How much is the purchases? 25,000. So 3rd January 2020, cash purchases 25,000. Second transaction also I recorded. What is the third transaction?
Cash purchases $17,500.
Cash purchases 17,500. So let's say 5th January, purchases 17,500. Okay.
Cash sales $33,500.
So next transaction is cash sales 33,500. Cash sales 33,500. Let's say 7th January 2020, sales 33,500. Sales account 7th January, cash 30,500. Okay, now these are the transactions. I have recorded the transactions. Okay, now we need to extract these balances to the trial balance. Now we will prepare the trial balance as at 1st January 2020. 7th January, we will extract the trial balance as at 7th January 2020. So we have recorded these transactions in the ledger accounts. Now we are going to balance of the ledger accounts and we are going to extract the trial balance as at 7th January 2020. Okay, now we will take the balances. Okay, now first of all, cash book. So what is the total?
Okay.
Balance is 5, 10, 1 remaining, 6, 13, 5, 1 remaining, 3, 4. Okay, the balance is balance carried down 165,500.
Oh, okay.
Then equity account, is there any transactions? No. Just balance carried down 325,000. 325,000. 325,000. Balance brought down 325,000. Is that right? Then purchases account also you need to take it to the trial balance. Balance carried forward, carried down 25,000. Then 25,000, 25,000. So balance brought down 25,000. Is that right? Then motor vehicle account also you have to carry it down, no? 375,000 and here 375,000. Balance brought down 375,000. Sales account, what is the total? 80,500. Balance carried down how much? 80,500. 80,500 and balance brought down 80,500. Okay, so now we are taking the closing balances to prepare the trial balance. Okay, so what is the cash book balance? 165,500. So we will replace this with 165,500. Then we have motor vehicle account, there is no change, 375,000. Then we had equity account, no change, 325,000. We had bank loan also, no change, 175,000. In addition to that, there are two accounts we created. Purchasers account, purchasers account 25,000. And sales account 80,500. Now prepare the trial balance and see whether it's balancing. Prepare your trial balance, see whether it's balancing. So 165,500 plus 375,000 plus 25,000. 565,500. Don't put the total. 565,500. Debit side is 565,500. 325,000 plus 175,000 plus 80,500. 580,500. Now we have extracted the trial balance.
Yes.
So what you can understand from this trial balance?
Wrong.
Wrong. Is it balancing? No. Your debit side is 565,500. Your credit side is 580,500. So therefore your debit side is less by how much? Your debit side is less by 15,000. Okay. So this is the difference. 15,000. So when you prepare the financial statements, if the trial balance is not balancing and if you don't have time to reconcile the errors or reconcile the differences, okay, you just can't stop it. You need to move on. You need to move on and you have to prepare the financial statements. Then when you get the time, you need to reconcile those errors. Until such time, what we do is, these errors, these differences will be transferred to an account called suspense account. You understand? So we put the difference here and we open an account called suspense account. So why do you open a suspense account? To balance the trial balance and to prepare the financial statements. So financial statement means your profit and loss account, balance sheet and the cash flow. If the trial balance is not balancing, you cannot move on. You understand? So this particular suspense account, since the debit side is less, it carries a debit balance. Okay? So in the financial position, in the financial statements, when you prepare the balance sheet or the financial position, if the suspense account is debit, it will be shown under current assets. You understand? Supposing this suspense account is a credit balance, where Okay, so those are the 3 errors that I have demonstrated today. There are 2 more errors that I will explain you. So what are those 2 errors? Another error is if you have not picked up the ledger balances to the trial balance. For example, let's say the purchaser's balance should be 42,500. But when you prepare the trial balance, you did not pick 42,500.
That means you did not enter.
You did not enter. You did not record this. Completely you forgot this amount. So then trial balance will not balance. So that is account balances not picked up to the trial balance. And the other error is errors in writing up the trial balance. The last one. Errors in writing up the trial balance. What does it mean? So you recorded all the ledger balances, but when you make the total, you make some errors. You understand? So this 42,500, you took it as 40,500 to the trial balance. You understand? So the carried forward balances, okay, the ledger balances you have extracted to the trial balance. But when you are writing up the trial balance, instead of 42,500, you have taken it as 40,500.
Not putting the original amount.
Yeah. You understand? Okay. So those are the errors that will affect the balancing of trial balance. Okay. So with that we can conclude this chapter. There is a question with regard to this. We will try to do it. You understand? Okay. So with that we will wind up the class, and next topic will be control account. So I will start discussing control account in my next class.